A woman's expectations in a relationship are a delicate tapestry woven from threads of trust, respect, and understanding. These expectations are not static, they change with time and experience, reflecting the evolving nature of the human heart. In the quiet spaces of her mind, a woman dreams of a partner who sees her for who she truly is, someone who can look past the masks she wears for the world and recognize the essence of her soul. At the core of her expectations is a desire for emotional security. A woman wants to know that her feelings matter and that they will be met with empathy, not judgment. She hopes for a man who listens not just to the words she speaks, but to the silences that stretch between them, the quiet hesitations that hint at her deeper fears. She wants him to understand that her tears are not weaknesses, but expressions of a heart that feels deeply. When she is vulnerable, she wants to feel safe, to know that her softness will not be used against her. She wants a man who is present, not just physically, but emotionally. Presence is about more than just being in the same room. It's about paying attention, truly engaging with her thoughts and feelings. It's about remembering the little details she shares in passing and weaving them into the fabric of their shared life. A woman wants to know that she matters to her partner, that she is not an afterthought or a convenience, but a priority. She hopes for someone who shows up, time and again, not out of obligation, but out of love. Respect is another cornerstone of what a woman expects. She wants to be valued not only for her beauty or what she can offer, but for the person she is, with all her complexities and contradictions. She wants a partner who sees her as an equal, whose words and actions affirm her worth. She expects to be heard and to have her opinions taken seriously, even if they differ from his own. She knows that true love is not about agreement at all times, but about the willingness to listen and learn from one another. In the dance of romance, a woman longs for genuine affection. She wants to feel cherished, to know that she is desired and wanted. Affection is not merely about grand gestures, it is about the small acts of tenderness that make her heart flutter. A touch on the back as she passes, a lingering kiss on the forehead, a smile that says, "I see you, and I'm glad you're mine." She wants these moments not just in the early days of infatuation, but woven throughout the years, reminders that love can be both steady and thrilling. A woman also seeks a partner who shares in the responsibilities of life. She does not expect perfection, but she hopes for someone who understands that a relationship is a partnership, not a one-sided endeavor. She wants a man who is willing to shoulder his share of the burdens and to celebrate the joys that come with them. When challenges arise, she hopes he will stand beside her, not because he has to, but because he chooses to. She wants to know that together they can weather any storm. Honesty is a precious currency in a relationship, and a woman expects it in abundance. She wants a man who will be truthful, even when the truth is difficult. She would rather face a hard truth than live with a comforting lie. In honesty she finds trust, and in trust she finds freedom to be her fullest self. She hopes for a partner who will not shy away from difficult conversations, who will face conflict with courage and kindness. A woman also expects a certain degree of independence, both for herself and for her partner. She wants a man who encourages her growth, who does not feel threatened by her dreams or her ambitions. She wants to know that he will stand by her as she reaches for the stars, cheering her on without trying to dim her light. Likewise, she hopes to support him in his own pursuits, knowing that a healthy relationship is one where two individuals can thrive as both partners and individuals. Laughter is another thread in the tapestry of her expectations. She wants a man who can make her laugh, who brings lightness to her days even when the world feels heavy. Shared laughter is a balm, a reminder that joy can be found even in the simplest moments. She wants someone who does not take life or himself too seriously, who can find humor in the everyday and invite her to share in that joy. A woman also hopes for a man who is willing to grow. She knows that no one is perfect, but she believes in the power of self-reflection and the courage to change. She wants a partner who will own his mistakes, who will apologize sincerely and work to do better. She hopes for a man who does not let pride stand in the way of progress, who understands that growth is a lifelong journey. In love, a woman wants passion, not just in the physical sense, but in the way he pursues life and her. She wants a partner whose eyes light up when he talks about what matters to him, whose enthusiasm is infectious. She wants to feel that same spark when he looks at her, to know that the fire between them is still burning brightly, even as the years pass. She wants to feel appreciated, to be told in words and shown in actions that she is loved. She wants to hear it in the quiet of the night and see it in the way he looks at her across a crowded room. She wants to feel it in the warmth of his touch, in the softness of his voice when he speaks her name. A woman wants to be celebrated, not just on special occasions, but in the everyday moments that make up a life. A woman's expectations are also deeply tied to the way she feels seen and understood. She wants a man who pays attention to her moods, who notices when she is quiet or distant, and asks gently what is on her mind. She wants him to understand that sometimes she needs space, that her silences are not rejections but invitations to look deeper. She wants to be understood in the ways that matter most. Compassion is a quality she cherishes. She wants a partner who can extend kindness even in the face of frustration, who can offer comfort without trying to fix everything. She wants to know that when she is hurting, he will be there with open arms and a listening heart. She hopes for a man who sees her pain not as an inconvenience, but as something that calls for tenderness. She wants loyalty, a commitment that transcends the easy days and endures through the hard ones. She wants to know that she is not just a chapter in his story, but a part of his life's journey. She hopes for a love that does not waver at the first sign of trouble, but stands firm in the face of challenges. She wants to feel that she can trust him with her heart, knowing that he will protect it as fiercely as his own. In her partner, a woman wants someone who is not afraid to be vulnerable. She wants to know his fears and his dreams, to see the tender places he keeps hidden from the world. She wants a man who can cry in front of her, who can admit when he is scared or unsure. In that vulnerability, she finds a deeper connection, a love that is real and raw and true. She wants a partner who shares her sense of wonder, who can marvel at the beauty of the world and find magic in the everyday. She wants someone who can watch the sunset with her, who will hold her hand in the quiet and whisper that life is better because they share it. She wants to build a life with someone who believes in the power of small moments to shape the greatest stories. A woman also expects a man who is kind to others, who treats people with respect and dignity, regardless of their station in life. She pays attention to how he speaks to the waitress, how he treats the stranger on the street. These small acts reveal so much about the kind of partner he will be. She wants someone whose kindness extends beyond their relationship, whose compassion is a part of who he is. She wants stability, not just in material things but in the steadiness of his presence. She wants to know that she can count on him, that he will be there when she needs him most. She hopes for a man who keeps his promises, who follows through on his commitments. In that reliability, she finds a foundation for trust, a sense of safety that allows her to open her heart fully. In the quiet corners of her mind, she dreams of a partner who is her safe place, someone she can turn to when the world feels too much. She wants a man who will hold her when she is tired and remind her that she is strong even when she feels weak. She wants someone who will share her burdens, who will walk beside her no matter how heavy the load. A woman's expectations are not about perfection. She knows that no one is flawless. But she hopes for a man who will meet her with sincerity, who will strive to be the best version of himself, not just for her but for them both. She knows that real love is built in the messy, imperfect moments, in the willingness to keep showing up even when it's hard. She wants a partner who values communication, who understands that misunderstandings are inevitable, but that talking through them is what strengthens the bond. She wants to be able to speak her truth and to be heard with an open heart. She hopes for a man who does not run from conflict but leans into it, knowing that on the other side is a deeper connection. In the end, a woman's expectations are simple yet profound. She wants to love and be loved in return, to share her life with someone who sees her not as a project to be fixed, but as a partner to be cherished. She wants to laugh and cry and dream together, to build a life that is rich with meaning and purpose. She wants a man who will take her hand and say, "We are in this together." A man who understands that love is not always easy, but it is always worth it. She wants to create a relationship that feels like home, a place where both of them can grow and thrive. A woman's expectations are not about grand declarations or sweeping gestures, though those have their place. They are about the quiet, consistent ways a man shows up, the tenderness in his touch, the honesty in his words. They are about the way he looks at her like she is the most beautiful thing he has ever seen, even on her worst days. She wants to be loved fiercely and gently, to be challenged and comforted in equal measure. She wants a man who will stand by her side, who will walk with her through the highs and lows, and who will never let her forget that she is worthy of the deepest, truest kind of love. In all of this, she is not asking for perfection. She is asking for presence, for kindness, for respect. She is asking for a partner who will grow with her, who will celebrate her victories and soothe her fears. She is asking for a love that feels like coming home, and in return, she will offer her own fierce, unwavering love, a love that sees his strengths and forgives his flaws, a love that believes in him even when he does not believe in himself. She will stand by him, just as she hopes he will stand by her. She will hold his hand and whisper, "We are in this together," knowing that in those simple words lies the promise of a lifetime.